The fact is, Starscream, despite your treachery, I've allowed you to carry on this long because I took a certain delight in following your string of failures. But you finally become tiresome, predictable. You've hit rock bottom.
Hello and welcome to our continuation of Kritter XD's really lackluster Wheel of Time defense. I don't think Kritter is a bad person. I'm never going to say that. However, I think that she makes really awful arguments. And so we will talk about them and why they are extremely bad. Anyway, allow me to bring on my guests, starting with the Emperor of Mankind himself, Codex.
With these words, I, Rabute Gilliman, Lord Commander of the Imperium, son of the Emperor of Mankind, declare the Indomitus Crusade. Traitors, mutants, demons, they heed to the coming of my armies and the ruin we promise your miserable kind. This galaxy is ours.
Son of the Emperor. There's a difference done.
Okay, fair enough. I just say, okay, you're the son of the Emperor. Cool. All right. Alrighty. And let's bring on the King of Always Winter, White Dragon.
To be fair, I came in for 12 Angry Men, but I have seen the Wheel of Time TV show, and I am so scared to see what we're going to be up against.
So we're at a minute in.
Oh my god, it's horrifying. Anyway.
Yes.
Don't talk about your second wife, if White.
Shut up.
Alrighty, let's get into it. The plot.
The plot. I maintain that the broad brushstrokes are the same from the books to the show, and I'm going to use the monomyth, aka the hero's journey, popularized by Joseph Campbell, to illustrate this point. Campbell used the monomyth to analyze and compare religions. In his famous book from 1949, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, he describes the narrative pattern as follows. The departure, which involves the call to adventure, refusal of the call, supernatural aid, the crossing of the first threshold, and the belly of the whale. There's more, but I would argue that the first season of The Wheel of Time, as well as the first book, basically just involves departure. If that sounded familiar to you, The Lord of the Rings, especially the Fellowship of the Ring, is a great example of this, as is The Hobbit. Gandalf shows up, tries to get Frodo to leave. Frodo's hesitant. Eventually he goes. They end up having to cross the ferry.
No.
You see what
I'm sorry, I wasn't even listening. What's she talking about?
She's talking about the plot out of the book and how
again,
it
there's
goes
one.
Well. Yeah, she's talking about it as if the book, the TV show, translated stuff from the novel well.
No. Which just no.
Yeah, to that one, I just have to break out a clip I've been wanting to use for a while.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
Yeah, that sums it up, yeah.
Fucking liar. Why are you always lying?
Yeah, I don't hate Kritter XD. Let's just put that out there. I don't hate her. I just think that her argumentation style is terrible. And she's clearly biased. Really, really, really biased. Like, biased. But it's okay. We all can make bad choices.
It's not.
What?
No, it's not. It's not good. It's not fine at all.
Okay, this is also true, but it doesn't. It isn't,
yes.
It's bad, but it's not immoral. Technically.
All right. Yeah. Technicality. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this has nothing to do with kind of like accuracy of adaptation, even though it's just like one is significantly better than the other. The main problem that we have here is the fact that the Wheel of Time TV show is crap on its own, even divorced from the novels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, certainly. I can hardly. I can't even. I don't even understand a goddamn thing about that fucking show.
Yeah.
I know nothing of the books, so checkmate, atheist.
Yeah. We can all make bad choices.
Yeah, really bad choices where it makes your show almost incoherent to the point where I don't understand any of the rules.
I don't know if she did. I don't believe that she's quite successful enough as a YouTuber to merit that. As far as I'm aware, no. Daniel Green, though, has sold out pretty hard. He's basically just said, here's my ass, take it. So I don't respect Daniel Green at all. What?
To Amazon? He was pucking up his ass to Amazon?
Yeah. Yeah, he basically just gave the Wheel of Time, each episode of Wheel of Time, a positive review. And I'm just like, you freaking idiot. I'm like,
why? It's like it's just an incoherent mess of a show.
Yes, it is.
That's the problem. That's the major problem. I think that he just was biased because he got Premier Access. That's the.
You know what? Just to be funny, I should force you to watch the Halo TV show. But first, I have to have you play the first game at least first.
I think that the Halo TV show is bad in and of itself.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't need to play the games.
It's more of a the comparison kind of thing, not necessarily who understand anything. Like the Wheel Time TV show in and of itself could have been fine if it actually, had
wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
it can be a terrible adaptation. Like it can be a terrible adaptation, but be a coherent story in of itself, and that would have been fine.
Yeah. Agreed. Like Legend of the Seeker, way better than the books. The books are terrible. Show, okay. Therefore, improvement. The books suck. The books are awful.
I'm not familiar with this.
It's a cheesy TV show from the 2000s, right before Game of Thrones.
Oh, cringe.
So discount Game of Thrones then.
Kind of. It's more like a quest fantasy.
Okay.
The books are very much a Game of Thrones ripoff in a lot of ways. And even is a Robert Jordan ripoff in a lot of ways, to degrees that is just like, this is a little bit ridiculous, Terry. You're just stealing at this point. Yeah, Jurassic Park. Yeah, that's a very good. Yeah, that is an extremely good point. Jurassic Park, the book, is extremely different than the film. The film is much lighter in tone and is not
Chronicles of Narnia?
all. I would actually say that Narnia is, at least the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is pretty dang accurate and leaves very little out. The
Prince Caspian obviously was heavily different, of course.
Oh yeah, that was massively different. A lot of stuff was changed for that one. Mostly for the better. Yeah, I would agree. Mostly for the better. Now is not a good time for gaming. You're live. Okay, sorry.
Wait, what?
All right. Yeah.
Gaming.
But yeah, let's keep going with this video.
I'm saying, well, in the Wheel of Time, they get their call to adventure from Moraine and end up leaving Eamonsfield. Rand, especially
for completely different reasons.
Moraine played the role of the supernatural aide, informing Egwene of her potential and teaching her what she could do with it. They cross the Terran Ferry while pursued by Shadowspawn. They're forced into Shadar Logoth, where Matt finds and takes.
Is she just going to do a summary?
That will plague him for a long time.
Yes.
Nynaeve returns. After everyone's been separated, Rand and Matt encounter some dark friends, and Perrin and Egwene encounter some tinkers. And did I mention that?
And they miss Elias, the guy who's the most important person for Perrin's arc.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Fucking cock.
It's so frustrating and annoying.
Again, it was completely different in the book because the Trollocs were after very specific farmhouses compared to the show, which they just attacked a town. Which is, again,
You guys are just mad it wasn't faithful adaptation.
Yes, when the book is actually better.
It's not that hard to do. Yeah, it's not hard to do.
It's actually easier if you lazily just cut and paste the book onto the screen.
Yeah.
And it creates less work later on. If you don't adapt correctly early on, it's going to create problems. Look at your favorite, Game of Thrones.
What are you talking about? It was a great ending. It subverted your expectations.
Not even woke people believe that. Most woke people hate Game of Thrones because it ruined Dany, their feminist icon.
Hey,
am I
wrong?
Know what?
No, she did things to me, so I'm okay with her dying.
You're dead.
Oh yeah, she raped you. They couldn't even get the rules right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even get my own lore right. I'm an idiot.
Is that the not when you have a death? Yeah. I hate, and even that's a weird position that even the fandom has, which is doubly frustrating, where they're just like, fix it, Rafe. And I just go, are you insane? Actually, speaking of which, I actually have a clip for that one. I just need to find it. 1 second.
Perfect.
Oh, come on, where are you? Like, where is it?
Come.
Ha. Comedy.
Epic.
That is really annoying. That is so annoying. Why can't I find stuff when I need you?
Just type in Control F and type in what you need to find.
Here we go.
Are you insane?
There
I
we
am
go.
insane.
Okay. Well, that's just going to be bad. Yeah, that's just going to be bad.
Mm.
That's going to be bad. Yeah, that. I know that Warner Brothers isn't as annoyingly woke as Disney because I get the sense that they're kind of like, we don't like this. Our audience hates. We don't really want to cater to this particular audience. After Birds of Prey bombed, and that was the woke DCU EU movie. Since Wonder Woman doesn't necessarily count, or at least I wouldn't count it, because it doesn't necessarily have a lot of the elements of a woke movie. It's just dumb and bad. Okay, cool. That's fine. Anyway, let's keep going.
Episode, Tom's absence has been rectified. Meanwhile, they've all been having some crazy dreams.
No.
Perion starts his lifelong relationship with the wolves. Perion and Egwene have a violent interaction with the White Cloaks. We
That
finally
was
get some
Oh my god.
Violent?
in a big
What the fuck was that?
They finally
Oh, that's him getting
That's
angry and turning Oriental and starting to talk to wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dumb.
It was really, violently. It was just one of the most passive aggressive tortures I've ever seen in my life.
It's interesting that you say passive aggressive. I would say wussy.
That too, but hell, I seen Die Another Day, and that had a massive torture fetish right there.
I had a way worse torture thing than this.
Yeah.
Like, this is way, way, way worse.
Hell, I saw the Madonna music video, and she was tortured enough in that one.
Fair enough, yeah. But yeah, it's just so frustrating.
and take the ways to Faldara, with one notable exception in Matt, but that's not the fault of the writers. That was extenuating circumstances, and I won't hold that against them. Rand has a confrontation with Ashamiel, believing he's the Dark One, at the Eye of the World, and ultimately defeats him. Kind of. If you've read The Eye of the World, then you know that all of those things happened in the book. The broad brushstrokes were
Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, but does that really explain what happens in the show?
I can't even read this. Come on, this is bullshit. Are you buying this?
No.
I was like, this is so bad.
Listen. Well, it happens in the book, guys, so I can excuse
most of this crap is original content made by morons.
Yeah. Most of it doesn't even make any sense.
So basically, I can use the argument of Let me see. What's a good one that people hate? Okay. Eowyn and Faramir get married even after Eowyn is a courageous shield maiden, feminist icon, and just decides to become Susie Homemaker once the ending is finished. It was in the book, therefore it's good, right?
Die.
Yeah. That's the level of argumentation we're at here.
Yep.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Absolutely.
No.
They changed a few things, absolutely. But they were always going to change a few things. You can't take a line-by-line adaptation of a book, put it into a show, and
but it needs to be coherent.
No one's asking that. No one's asking this.
It's a literal. That's what you call a straw man.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's easy.
She looks like a strong woman right now.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, it's.
Oh yes, I have defeated the person I made up. Good job.
Yeah, it's just like we don't care if it's 1-for-1. Like, for instance, like Starship Troopers is not a 1-for-1 adaptation of the book. Does that mean that it's bad? No.
Totally.
Is Legend of the Seeker a 1-for-1 adaptation of the Sword of Truth? Wizard's First Rule? No. Is the Lord of the Rings a 1-for-1? No. There's some Tom Bombadils that are left by the wayside, probably for the better, because Tom Bombadil is weird and would have taken multiple people, taken pretty much everybody except for the Tolkien scholars out of the movie, because unironically he is the Winnie the Pooh of Lord of the Rings.
He's also very broken as well in the universe, but I digress.
Oh, definitely. He is massively broken. Yeah. There are some things that could have been cut. Let me think. I would say some of the time with the Tinkers, that could very easily be removed. I think that's fine.
Egwene's Remo situation, which never happened in the books.
The love triangle. Why was that added? The whole the 3 episodes in Tarvalon were filler episodes that took time away from episodes that could have actually from time that could have been devoted to developing the characters, but instead they decided to develop a guy who was going to die. Yeah, no. I'm like, it was pointless. It was utterly pointless.
Just impossible.
I just can't do it, Captain. I just have the power.
Not to mention, I believe the relevant changes are explainable and salvageable. I know the biggest
No, they're not.
For a lot of people was the fridging of Perion's wife, who
yeah, because that was freaking ridiculous.
Who didn't exist in the books. In the books, sorry, I should clarify. I remember the first one, but still, she never existed.
No, she just doesn't exist in the books, period.
Yeah.
It's just, people don't like it. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. It fundamentally ruins Perion as a character.
Obviously, you're just being a bigot.
Yes, I'm a bigot against well, I guess I am being homophobic because I'm saying that the gay man who wrote the first episode was an idiot. I don't care.
Oh, no.
But you can't say he's sexist because he's just a woman. You can't do that nowadays, can you?
That is true, yes. Yes, he did do that. He is sexist for film. And he's kind of racist, too. Like, he includes a lot of racist stuff. Like, anybody else heard of Step and Fetch It?
No.
I have not, actually, no.
It's the name of a gay guy. No, not gay guy. A black man stereotype, where it's kind of a manservant black guy. And he named one of his characters Steppen. And it's just... And, just unintentionally racist stuff like the black man and leaving his family, stuff like that.
Oh no!
Black man killing his wife or crap like that. It's so freaking hilarious.
who didn't even exist in the books. Fridging is a term for when a loved one is hurt, maimed, or killed in order to further the plot of one of the characters or motivate that character. It's named for a storyline in Green Lantern, A New Dawn, where a villain leaves the corpse of the main character's girlfriend in a fridge for him to find. I wish this hadn't happened in the show. It gave the haters a pretty solid talking point. She literally doesn't exist.
You just... She's broken the scripts. She broken the scripts. You.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Well, judging by that forehead exactly, I doubt she has any.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, kinda.
Your incompetence is becoming most taxing.
We're not even. We're only a little bit in, folks.
And then they created her just to murder her. But without getting too much into spoilers, I will say that it gave non-book readers, without the benefit of the internal dialogue we get in the books, because Perion is very introspective, a reason to buy Perion's dilemma throughout the series regarding violence and his overprotectiveness of a certain character that we'll meet later in the series. It was
that's a lie. No, that's a lie. That's stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
Survey says that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm just so irritated. That's just that is just so freaking stupid. That's just so dumb.
No, it's not so dumb. It's an insult to dumb people half the time, Dunn. This is just incompetence.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, it's actually funny. There's actually a story that somebody asked Christopher Tolkien about Tom Bombadil, and he explained that Tom Bombadil was a character that J.R.R. Tolkien would tell his kids about, and he just included him in the book as a nod to his kids, because J.R.R. Tolkien is a cool guy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, well, technically, since there's Lila Durna, who got kind of she did get kind of tubby. That is accurate. And had a lot of kids. That is accurate. We're not denying that. Yeah, but yeah, killing his wife. Yeah, you could do that a whole lot in a very different fashion. Just killing some white cloaks would have been good enough, but
you could have done it with lightning,
or even just have it start off with him just not kind of trying to avoid bumping into people because he's a big dude.
Yeah,
it's not too difficult. You moron! You complete and total moron! You're an idiot! I'm actually fine with leaving the Scouring of the Shire. Mainly because you don't have time. There's just no time for it. You just can't fit that in. That would extend things way too long. Yeah, I would say honoring Tolkien's work is good. I'm okay with not honoring Terry Goodkind because Terry Goodkind is an idiot and an asshole.
Well, tell that to Rings of Power.
Well, yeah, just move around and then just have it start with him, like, just avoiding bumping into people and then have it culminate with him killing White Cloaks. And because ultimately, Perion's arc is not him becoming a pacifist. His arc is understanding that violence is a place and that there's a balance that you can find. It's not... It just seems as though fundamentally Rafe Judkins either doesn't understand it or he just wants to put this type of character that you might describe as emasculated. At least I would not say that. I would say that you would definitely have a leg to stand on when you say that Perion was massively emasculated. And it's just, there's no heroic characters in this. Even the women, they just kind of suck. But yeah,
so cuntish in a way, you would argue. Well, that's how they come off in the show.
Let's go with that one.
You are correct, sir.
Yes.
No.
Simply the shortest distance from point A to point B, and at least Layla was not the only woman in the series. Far from it. And before she went out, she showed us how much of a stud she really was. She was no damsel in distress. Pour one out for Layla. Matt not going
No.
away was a change that the writers clearly did not.
Okay. So what was the reason why he left? The actor, I mean.
No, nobody has any idea. He just left and never came back. There are multiple theories. It could be that he refused to get the shot. It could be that he said, I don't want my career attached to this bull crap. It could be that he got into some pretty hefty drugs and decided to get off social media and was forced into rehab. It could be that he broke his contract somehow, or the producers didn't like him, so they got him out. So,
well, if it is the drug situation, I hope he really makes a recovery from this. From that, sorry.
I mean, yeah, I hope he does recover from Wheel of Time.
Yes. I mean, this show is a hell of a drug. Rage-inducing, but a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. For me personally, I wouldn't call it rage-inducing. I would call it comatose-inducing.
Yeah. He just it's
well,
not.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nobody has ever revealed why this happened. It was so definitely it wasn't because of the vaccine, because it was months later. Vaccination wasn't necessarily the reason, but it's just nobody knows. It's never it just said he left the show once they decided to come back for filming.
Any stock into speculation?
Well, it's just that logically there's only like a few options. Like if you don't come back, if an actor decides to break his contract to just not come back for filming, there's only a few reasons why that can be. So yeah, it is speculation, but it's kind of informed speculation, I guess you could say, because it has to be something serious. Either he breaks his contract, he's in rehab, and therefore is court ordered not to be in there, or he just decided not to come back. Those are pretty much the main reasons.
Yeah, because I do that all the time when I'm on this podcast. Sometimes I watch Rise of Skywalker and just leave for the rest of the call.
I just drink.
True.
Hopefully, it sets him up for his book 3 plot, where he needs
No,
to
it
be
doesn't.
on, so we can get that incredible quarterstaff scene that we've all been.
That's a skip. That is skipping so much crap, you idiot.
And let's assume he comes back after all.
This is, I guess you can call this massive fucking dose. She's taking massive doses of copium right now.
Yeah, and the problem he has been recast as somebody new, but nobody really knows how good Donald Flynn is going to be. So
waiting for it. Perion seems to take some.
Well, given this
massive
show's
plot
quality, I wouldn't be
points at
surprised.
the end of the season, setting him up to chase the Horn in season 2 and hopefully find Elias, which seems likely because it looks like he's been cast, and some of the images that we've seen previewed, particularly the Murdral nailed to the door, look like they might have Elias in them. Giving us Logain gave us one of the most wow moments in season 1. Nynaeve going
wow
moment to you?
Talent, which is
That's
healing.
her ringing.
Oh my god. Those effects look. The effects looks awful. What am I looking at? Fucking the early '90s fucking television show VFX.
Okay, right. Okay, here's the thing. How much do you think this entire show cost?
Well, it looks like it's on a fucking shoestring budget, but I'm guessing that's not the case because I heard a lot of numbers being thrown
$80 million.
around.
$80 million.
Yeah. A lot of that went to someone's pocket, not the fucking TV shows.
I fully endorse the theory that this was money laundering.
Even though that I
just said
that I wasn't going to go do speculation, but Jesus Christ, how can this look this bad?
Yeah, for reference, Game of Thrones season 1 had an $8 million budget per episode.
Yes,
like a million times better.
Yeah.
The second coolest.
This makes Rings of Power look better.
Jesus, please have better standards than this.
Us more Aes Sedai early on, in my opinion, was a
no.
This show was a
that's not a good idea.
Fair for female fantasy fans.
No,
bringing white.
No. Because the problem with this as well. Sorry, go on.
She's about to say something stupid. I heard the word white. I'm like, oh no.
Power politics into it. And
Can you rewind that bit?
Early on, in my opinion, was a great hook. This show was a breath of fresh air for female fantasy fans, bringing power politics
really
into it, and the.
So you like
the
Yes, it does seem that way. But the problem with this as well, having more Aes Sedai does not
mean... fantasy fans deserve better. Sorry, go. Female fantasy fans deserve better. Because you go.
Yes. Yes, but the problem with that as well, because in the first book, was just Moraine who was the only Aes Sedai in the first book? I'm trying to remember.
Elida's in the book as well. The lady who gives the prophecy when he meets up with Elaine.
Okay. So, but my point being, having those two characters makes more sense when you're setting up an entire magic system in your fantasy universe, etc. Just having all these characters and all these Aes Sedai in very quick succession is not a good idea. You want to build that up a bit more. Have it like just a character, just it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi describing the Force essentially, and then Yoda in Empire Strikes Back explaining him further exactly.
Oh, I was just going to go from a character perspective. If you flood the viewer with characters in an 8-episode span, and you haven't even developed your main cast, that's really bad. That's a bad idea.
I feel like I can bring Justice League almost in a sense into this.
Oh yeah, Justice League is a very good example of just throwing crap at you way too quickly, especially the Snyder cut.
Oh god, I'm gonna bring another one. Fucking Rise of Skywalker, just throwing it at the wall.
Yeah,
that's a really good
I was going to say Alexander. I was going to say Alexander.
I think I think actually
specifically just. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to bring up the nice thing about Legend of the Seeker is it's a focused season on. It has 22 episodes, so it's longer than this, but it does introduce more characters, but over the course of the show, some of which come back. But the main thing is you have your core cast that goes through the show that you get attached to, and that you find out things about them. You see their skills, their abilities. But in this, no. I don't think I really know any of these characters very well if I just am going off of the information, other than Nynaeve Reeing has magic.
Yeah. I mean, how else would we describe that?
And yeah, well, Avengers, yeah, that's a good example of Avengers. Even though it has its own movie, Avengers is really good. But it does build off of the fact that we've become attached to the characters in the originals, both films leading up to it. This doesn't.
That's because it hasn't really set up anything at first. Unlike Avengers has movies to set up things already, and in of its own movie too as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
there needs to be more build up. I'm always pretty big advocate for build up. I don't like it when movies just start and then just go at a fucking breakneck pace all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's like for instance, movies like disaster movies, like Day After Tomorrow. My favorite part of those movies is like the beginning part, and right after the disaster part hits, like it just shits the fucking bed for me. It just dies.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because Roland Emmerich is an idiot. He is a massive chode. He's barely ever made a good movie.
Well, he did make Midway, to be fair. That's actually pretty good.
And even movies like 2012, I like the build up. I guess I really like build up to disaster movies, and then the disaster part. But like after the disaster, I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Better example, Guardians Volume 1 is actually a really good example of just introducing a group over a much shorter time, and you get a very good sense of each of their characters. Admittedly, they're very simple characters. But it's a lot of character across.
The saddest shit is like even in those really bad disaster movies, you understand the characters and what their goals and who they are as people. Like Day After Tomorrow, you have like an understanding of the characters.
Yeah,
like this is the science guy. This is the high school kid.
This is the son of science guy.
The joking girl.
Like they actually have build up and they actually understand their character to a certain point. What you need to know.
Yeah.
And in this show, it's like how do fucking popcorn movie disaster movie do better stuff than this?
Yeah, it's kind of like, and even just these two guys up here, one is played by the showrunner's boyfriend, so we know how he got that role. But I'm just like, what is it? How would you describe these characters? And I'm just like, they're gay warders, and that's all. And one of them had a bad dad who tried to kill him. That's it. That's all I know about them. And yet they're going to be major focuses in season 2. Sod off.
This is a real low point. Yeah, this one hurts. Ow.
Yeah.
Unique relationship that Aes Sedai have with their warders sets us up for the White Tower drama that is to come.
As it is.
Lorraine made
Don't
for
need to
some
elaborate.
excellent TV, especially given the actresses that they landed for these roles.
Standards.
Blasting the Trollocs and Carwin's Gap was 100% fine with me. At the end of the Eye of the World,
of course you would say that, wouldn't you?
In episode
Oh my god, that scene!
Existential battle, which is perfectly appropriate given what happens in the series, and the girls were at least able to.
No.
Okay.
No.
So here's the problem with existential versus throwing somebody into an existential fight when they, one, are developed as characters. That's a quality of the writing. But just from a structural perspective, you can't really have an existential fight when it's just a simple man doing things who doesn't really have any experience with the world. That's just not how it works. It's just unsatisfying. And when you finally get to the existential fight at the end, it's just like, okay, he's already overcome this. What's the point? It's like building your muscles. You fight physical, then you fight mental, then spiritual. That's kind of how just the progress of stories usually work, because spiritual threats are way harder to fight against than physical threats. Physical threats can be dealt with fairly easily by comparison.
If I can argue something, probably Luke Skywalker is a good example of this.
Yeah, where he's yeah, that's a good example where he's physically able to take down the Death Star, and then he takes on the spiritual or the mental stuff with Yoda, and he fails consistently, and then he gets back up, is able to overcome the mental stuff by what we see in Jabba's palace, and then once he fights against the Emperor, he overcomes a spiritual opponent. So yeah, that's a good example. In this case, him just having an existential thing way too early, that creates major problems going forward, especially when it's just he wins because he's a simp. That's the reason why he wins.
That is very accurate,
guys.
Yeah, he just says, but it's not what she wants.
Oh God! I'm sorry to cut you off yet again, but like I don't really understand this guy's character.
Well, he doesn't have one.
To be fair, that's fair. That is, that's a fair argument. To be fair, because the show barely does anything with him.
Agreed.
Maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention.
Even those who pay attention don't know what his character is because he isn't the focus.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like half paying attention all the time.
Yeah, you don't even need. It's not a matter of your. Yeah, even people who pay attention can't describe his character.
To lend their power to the fight instead of just sitting back. And in case anyone's worried about power creep, most of these women died. So I don't think we have to really worry about this being replicated. And we don't.
No.
Hilarious.
I don't.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But still.
I don't know if you fully understand that 3 for several thousand is a really good trade.
Try spinning. That's a cool trick.
So
try burning out. That's a cool trick.
No, that's BS. That's ridiculous.
He's dumb.
No,
that's just your opinion.
Well, she showed her intelligence throughout this entire video, to be fair, so far.
Ow.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, no ab hominem attacks, guys.
Well, no, we're not saying that she's a bad person. We're not saying she's a bad person. We're just saying she's incompetent.
Yes.
Yeah,
the CGI looks really bad.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad. It's really bad.
And I think that, and actually they could replicate this and just trade. Hey, let's just trade $1 million for what? $1 million for 3.
Amelisa was. She didn't get the shawl that.
The funny thing about this as well, the CGI.
She was completely untrained. Matt's a little darker. So what? That makes him.
The Suicide Squad film. I'm not joking. That's the same thing as well.
Hold on a minute. Are you going to explain why that is, or are you just going to be like replica films and just say it is and move on?
No, because at least they do explain that she's an Aztec ghost lady half the time, and she's trying to resurrect her brother, but also it's one of those sky laser things that shoot in the sky and it gives her powers. Exactly, that's what happened. And I'm not joking. It's literally note for note the same thing. She does the weird dance and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's even a weird belly dance at one point. And just the whole thing about Matt being a criminal. It's like
it'll be a funny case study.
I do apologize, but didn't come up as that white. I do apologize.
It'll be a funny, a funny study. Is if you cut episodes between Wheel of Time and Rings of Power, can people even tell the difference?
One looks
probably
cheaper.
Not. No. Yeah.
Well, one looks cheaper. Wheel of Time looks way cheaper than Rings of Power, and Rings of Power, the orcs don't look as bad as Loyal.
God.
Like,
I keep forgetting.
Loyal is one of the worst things I have ever seen in a mainstream fantasy movie.
I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw that. It was just...
Wow.
Oh, okay, the mustache, okay, I can buy. But the hair?
The hair is so awful.
Yeah.
It's so...
Show White that, because he doesn't understand the full context of all that. Just show him.
No, I think he's seen it. He's seen
it. White?
Yeah,
Can you refer me to what character? Because they all blend together.
Let me. You remember the guy that you showed
the librarian
me?
guy.
The guy, the image you sent me with those making the guy.
Oh my God! You stop.
Yeah. For reference, folks, this is what we're talking about.
I found it. Oh my God.
Yep.
Here.
Here. I have all the sympathy in the world for this poor actor. Like, he just looks like ass. I'm really sorry. The makeup department on this show sucks.
My eyes.
They burn. My eyes. But yeah, let's keep going.
Sisters. He still has a great heart. That's the Matt I know and love. Also, anyone that tells you...
No, it isn't.
It's like...
I like how he just makes claims and just says it is and just moves on without ever just backing up or talking about it. It is just is because fuck you.
And also, Matt's actually fairly moral. This is not a spoiler, but he never steals anything from anybody. And the show fundamentally comes from a privileged California upbringing that doesn't understand small town values or culture. If you philander, you are kicked out. They are fine with that. Because if you steal, you're probably going to get pretty badly punished. If you have sex out of wedlock, they're going to paddle your ass and then force you to get married to the girl you were fooling around with.
Okay, dog, stop it. Fucking.
Coffin is anywhere near the top of their list of favorite characters.
Abel was just a good guy.
What? Yeah. He was a decent guy in the book.
Yeah, he shows up for one book, but he's a good man. And he taught Matt how to be moral. Like even one of his advice to Matt is, it's like when he's teaching Matt, there's a little bit where Matt thinks about being in a quarter scaff fight and his dad teaching him, and he's like, his dad teaches him a move, and he says, "This is a killing blow, Matt. Don't ever use this unless it's your life."
Yeah. Don, I sent you some links about the Enchantress and the Suicide Squad movie, and now, audience, please tell me that's not the same thing as what happens in the show.
Oh, yeah. Moyle is new and I look way better. Because the Quest is a hilarious TV show with way worse acting.
Hey, Don, you want to see your eyes, your brain melt? Look at the thing I just sent you.
Oh, you mean Reddit? Why does everybody seem to hate the Wheel of Time? Well, we'll get to that, but we need to get through this video.
You're lying. He's basically just Tam Althor light. He's always on Tam's side, and there's nothing particularly interesting about him. So making him darker in order to make Matt a more complicated character makes a lot of sense for the TV show. Now we might even get
you are incredibly shallow.
The Dragon Reborn mystery, it can be more than three boys. I think that makes for great TV. It kept.
Oh, that's mystery boxing. No, it doesn't. A terrible idea. Mystery boxing is a terrible idea. It's terrible. You're an idiot.
And changing it to more than just the three boys. That's the fundamental ideas of the book, lady. For God's sake.
There's
My
also
God.
there's also the issue that if you make Egwene and Nynaeve ta'veren, which is not explained at all in the show, which is frustrating.
No.
It fundamentally takes away their agency. It actually makes Egwene less of an agent in her own story, because in the book it's weird. It's a very weird change because she goes with them of her own free will. She does not have to go. And that actually makes her a much better character just because she has actual agency, something that these people claim to want. And yet with this one, they're okay with her just being dragged along for no reason other than she's ta'veren.
Quite literally in Nynaeve's case. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Quite literally in her case.
Yeah.
Kept non-readers guessing. Book
That's
Cloak's
stupid.
angry, and it gave us
It's like
now we might even get a redemption arc from him. And as for the Who is the Dragon Reborn mystery, it can be more than just the three boys. I think that makes for great TV. It kept non-readers guessing.
No, it doesn't.
Cloak's angry, and it gave us a super fun reveal in episode 7. Book reading.
You.
I was like,
yes, J.K. Simmons, you're right. It is hilarious.
Book Cloak's angry. So essentially, something is good in as far as it makes the people you hate angry? How does that make any remote bit of sense? Oh yeah, I actively I'm like, nope, I am not watching that. I'm done with Disney live action remakes. They're all terrible. They suck. I'm not watching it. No.
There's also got a little treat. Rand showing off his archery skills. He was shooting
With
bullseyes once he came to terms with his fate. Feels like a nod to the
No, he had post nut clarity. That's why he can't.
Yeah.
Wait, and one last thing about the Dragon Reborn mystery, because I'm frankly tired of addressing the outrage about the fact that they made it seem like it could have been a girl. The idea that they might lose information, that prophecies might have been changed, misinterpreted, or mistranslated over thousands of years makes tons of sense. Not to mention the girls not being ta'veren.
No.
Okay.
So, okay, here's the thing. If these Aes Sedai are so intelligent, how the hell would they lose that very critical piece of information exactly? It's not 40k, my dear.
It's also not Game of Thrones.
Yes.
So here's kind of the thing. A lot of knowledge was lost over time. Yes. However, Wheel of Time and the and A Song of Ice and Fire are wildly different in how they handle prophecies, and it seems as though they went to try and shove Wheel of Time into a Game of Thrones shaped hole in terms of how they handle the prophecies. In Wheel of Time, the prophecies are just everybody knows them, and they're pretty dead spot on. And they have been meticulously cataloged because they said, this guy's going to come eventually. We are going to translate this and keep it going as accurately as we can. And there's even original manuscripts of the prophecies of the dragon that exist that were written in the original language, and there are people who know how to translate it. And there isn't a gender-neutral pronoun like there is in Game of Thrones for the prince that was promised. It's just, no, the Dragon Reborn is a male. He will always be a male, and that's why people are freaking scared. Because if he's a woman, it's like, cool, we don't have to worry at all. At all.
Yeah.
Like, we can just say, oh, let's just hope for the 50-50 shot that it's a girl, not the, oh no, this guy's the Antichrist because he'll destroy everything because all male channelers are bound to go mad and kill everyone around them and possibly destroy like cities. It's so frustrating.
Cities, more like the entire world.
Agreed. Yeah. But it's so frustrating
again,
that they don't seem to get this.
And again, it's not like it's 40k or something where literally 1,000 years of conflict literally caused the technological and cultural stagnation of the Imperium of Man. It's not like that in this series.
Yeah, there's been the Koreathon cycle is one of those things that has been very carefully cataloged through the centuries because people want to be aware, okay, the dragon is coming. There are things that he's got to do, and we got to know when he's coming. Oh, we have a guest in the background. Please welcome Aspiring Writer.
Fuel of the cosmos mixes with the boundaries of speed to transcend the beyond. I synchro summon Warlord Savage Dragon.
Done. Go
Hello.
fuck yourself with a cactus.
What was that?
You had to annoy me more than I'm already gonna be. Thank you so fucking much.
What was that intro?
That's from
It was an anime.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Frames.
Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm surprised that's still a thing.
Yeah, it's strangely
I'm surprised
still
you
going
You
on.
could call it a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Not only
It
did
initially
you
made
watch
me a little
this,
mad when I was reading the books because it felt like I was setting the 3 boys up to be the main characters over everyone else. Eventually, with Nynaeve
Because
growth
they
and
are.
Wayne's growth, it became obvious that they were also main
Yeah.
characters, similarly powerful. Making all 5 Taviran modernizes the show and doesn't make audiences wait to find out that the girls are just as important as the boys. And then the end, it gave us
You
a
don't
hook.
have to
Season
wait.
2 is going to be bigger and better than ever. Because
You already.
who the hell are the
That's
Well,
It's certainly gonna be bigger.
Is it the point of girls that they can already channel the magic without being corrupted?
Yep.
Like, so what's
Yes.
the fucking point there?
The irony of the statement.
The whole
Nothing.
concept of the Dragon Reborn, I thought, for me, was that he was a particular male that can channel it without going crazy.
No, he still is going to go crazy.
Oh,
Yes.
That's why people are scared to death of the Dragon Reborn coming back.
There's like three main female characters in the first book. Moraine, the only one who knows how to use magic, and the one who instigates the fucking plot. Egwene, who wants to train to use magic. And Nynaeve, who wants to protect our 3 mains. What
And
the
has
fuck is wrong with you?
And has a very flat, bigoted premise. Oh, sorry.
oh my god, that fucking scene! I kind of lost my mind when I first saw that. I'm like, what are those?
I was just confused. I was just more confused.
Yeah.
And also,
I was drunk, so
what's the whole
Yeah.
thing with Dragon Reborn again, besides the magic?
Okay, so to explain the Dragon Reborn, since the show didn't do a good job of it, the dragon. So back in the previous age, there was a guy who was named Luz Theron Telamon, and he was given the title of Dragon. And he fought against the Dark One, imprisoned him, but the Dark One got his revenge by tainting the male half of the true source, which is the magic power, kind of like in Warhammer 40k, there's the warp, isn't it?
yeah, it's the
Similar premise. And when that happened, he went mad and died. However, there was a prophecy that was cataloged and that was preserved and was very widely disseminated. You can find a copy of the Koreathon cycle in nearly every kingdom, except for Tyr and Amador. Tyr, because they have Kalendor, which is the sword that cannot be touched, that is prophesied to be the dragon's weapon of choice, and that will be the major sign of his rebirth. And Amador, because the White Cloaks are in charge, and White Cloaks are crazy psychos.
Yes.
But the prophecy is that Luz Theron Telemon's soul would be reborn, and that his rebirth would fight the Dark One.
You could also count the Senchan who are on screen, since theirs are a bit altered due to propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. So, sorry, go for it.
So I wouldn't know about the whole propaganda shit because I know nothing about the source material, but
that's totally fine.
It is just so fucking like looks like whoever made these designs look like they were on fucking meth or something. Or like the gold shit in their mouths. Like what the fuck is that?
It's a ball gag.
That is
a weird
pretty much
fetish.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
They normally just dress him up in gray rags, but
epic.
Either way.
Yep.
Either way, we gotta go and watch something actually good after this. So hurry up.
Yeah.
These people. Book readers know. Book readers know. Moraine's been effectively nerfed for now. Yet another hook for season 2. And it skips ahead ever so slightly into book 2, giving us that hook that we're going to be chasing the horn next season. Each of those things give us something to look forward to for season 2. They added a little drama. And you know what makes for good TV? Drama. Now let's talk about the quality. First things
okay, hold on. Wait, pause.
What do you mean early? It's basically the same time as in the books.
Yeah.
The second book is chasing the horn.
Please explain the drama to me, because I am lost.
Are you just drama? That's what it is.
Are you gonna state that drama is good and just move on without having to elaborate or explain anything? It just it is because it is. All right, fuck you. Bye bye then.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is female replica in a nutshell.
I don't know if there's a worse insult. I don't know.
How about Noble then?
That's an insult to replica. And to Noble.
No, I don't really care.
Well,
they are of the same caliber of argumentation. I don't really care.
I just don't understand how a devil creature like this can't keep track of where a fucking horn is in a book or series.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
It was amazing. The White Cloaks, Swan, the Aes Sedai. Could people?
My eyes.
I saw that as a critique, sure, but I literally don't care because it was fabulous. And when people needed to look dingy, they did. Important question: if you had the one power,
dingy.
Oh
my god.
Methinks no. I've also seen complaints about the CGI.
I think she means by she's talking about like the design of the costumes.
I caught that. Pretty. I can't. I'm like slightly missing her exact points.
Well, unfortunately, I was stupid once, so I can definitely translate some bit for you. It is. She was referring to. Okay, so I think what she was getting at is dingy is, I don't know if that's even the right word for it, like dirty and scuffed up looking. Like how everybody was complaining, like everybody is complaining about like how everybody's uniforms are just so goddamn pristine and look unworn. But she fails to realize that even the fucking dirty looking stuff looks clean as hell.
Yep.
Because at least Game of Thrones had the dingy stuff.
No. I've also seen complaints about the CGI in the show. And yes, there were some scenes that they definitely could have done better. But we saw what they did with practical effects. The Trollocs looked awesome.
Stop.
No, they don't.
Stop sidestepping the argument, you fucking troglodyte. This is the prequel apologetics all over again. Well, you see, it wasn't. Oh, you see, guys, there was practical effects, so shut up. Your argument's invalid. It's the same thing they did with the prequels.
Why are you surprised?
Because they're all from the same fucking cloth when it comes to argumentation.
Yes, so I'm asking again, why are you surprised that a bunch of idiots are making idiotic arguments?
I didn't. Why did I sound surprised? I'm not surprised.
I guess you just always sound surprised for some reason to me.
I was just more annoyed that it's like more of the same bullshit. Like, not this shit again.
True. That is a fair.
She was literally making an Anomaly Inc. argument. Like, oh, the CGI is the devil, like, argument from one of the... No, that was a JJ plagiarism video, actually.
I think it's both.
Well, yeah, they're both. JJ plagiarism is literally just a knockoff anomaly, essentially.
Yeah.
Dollar store anomaly. Yeah, go ahead.
It was not how anyone planned it, and I understand and accept that COVID played a huge role in that. Because the main conflict for me was easily
did it though?
And that
like there is a thing, like when it comes to like graphics and art and stuff, when it comes to computer stuff, you can do fucking Discord calls and all this stuff. You can work from home. I'm pretty sure the company can supply people with the right equipment for the fucking job. Stop acting like this is like an excuse that's actually valid for some reason.
So I can accept COVID for a couple of things. Large extra stuff or large groups of people. If it's graphics, you had a long time where people are just at home doing bugger all who can work on the show. And they can work with maybe they'll have more distractions because they're working from home, but they're still working from home. They're working. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous copium.
Looked amazing and played really well, in my opinion. I truly enjoyed episode 8. Despite some weirdness at the gap.
Standard.
Despite some weirdness where? Where did she say weirdness was?
Looked amazing and played really well, in my opinion. I truly enjoyed episode 8, despite some weirdness.
Her own subtitles.
At the end. Oh, there was weirdness at the end, was there? Just at the end.
Really?
And she liked the last episode, the worst episode of the show.
What weirdness are you referring to? Huh? I'm curious. Was it the face is being burned off the Aes Sedai?
Or the
I was in the tidal wave.
Or the what is it? The removing of all stakes by Egwene healing death.
Was it Ishmael just being disintegrated?
And
what
Rand
weirdness?
just
I'm curious.
Rand just pussying out of life and running away.
Was it Loyal getting stabbed by the dagger from Shadar Lagat? And the horn being in a small little dinky chest you'd keep in your attic?
And
Sorry.
As well as being under the Lord of Shinar's freaking Icken chair. You have a tactical magical nuke underneath your chair and you don't use it? Are you serious?
Done. I want to just say that in the books, Padan Fane's lie about the horn is more believable than what actually happens in the show. And it's in the same fucking box. That's the box you'd expect it to be in for that goddamn lie.
Wheel Time is great. Here's why. Oh, that's the title. Oh no.
Was awesome. Egwene with the white cloaks. Isla, always. Everything Sophie Okonedo did was
She is just fanboy.
What? It was great, especially in episode 5.
Oh, you mean how they frisked a gay character?
Stilling.
Well, not even gay. He's not gay. No, it's actually funnier. He says it's treated as a sad when a man declares, I don't really want to be gay. I don't want to have sex with other men, so I'm going to kill myself rather than have that happen. That's and like people that say that's bigoted for putting that reading in. It's like, no, you. I'm sorry, the show did it. The scene where he dies is juxtaposed with him talking about I've never been with a man. So
the greatest man alive.
I mean, to be fair, Land's actor does look Ezra Miller. To be fair, so I'm not really surprised, really. Well, does he?
Yeah.
I mean, look at Land's actor right there.
Yeah, Ezra Miller, the Mad Goose Wizard. Ezra Miller. Yeah. I'm amazed that he hasn't gotten the Jonathan Myers treatment where everybody has dropped him, because he's done way, way worse stuff than Jonathan Myers. I'm sorry. And he's clearly out of his gourd. Anybody who says the Mad Goose Wizard or does the brainwashing, gaslighting crap he's supposed to have done, he needs to go to jail. It's like, no.
Lighting
Cancel
of
this.
gases.
Zoe gave me full body chills throughout the season, especially in episode.
Gosh, she has
Barney
no
Harris was-
standards.
Wow.
She isn't making arguments. She's just making statements.
I was about to say, can you
Yeah.
please say anything more than a fucking 2-word descriptor of what you think of them?
That is also true. Yeah. And like, as far as I am aware, Amazon does not put out as many shows as Disney did. And for as much as I hate Kenobi, Kenobi looks better than this. As well as...
That hurts. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It hurts, but
Right.
it's true, mate.
As well as, like, just stuff like Thor Love and Thunder looks better than this.
I haven't seen, so I can't say I don't.
Oh,
What I've heard,
Unfortunately, he's correct.
that is
a
damning.
correct statement. Yeah.
I haven't seen it either, and admittedly, there's probably a higher budget, but you're also much of the budget for the MCU goes to the actor's paycheck, not the VFX, and like just stuff like Kenobi or Mandalorian looks better than this.
Done. You've always quoted the number. Budget for Wheel of Time again? Give me
80 million, 10 million per episode. Comparison, Game of Thrones, 8 set between I think 7 and 8 million an episode.
So the budget for Thor
Yep.
Love and Thunder is $250 million.
A lot of that probably goes to Chris Hemsworth. And a lot of that goes to the marketing, or at least some of it. Well, actually, probably no, not a lot. Another 250 million is going into the marketing budget. But I would say that a major thing is because the actors in question, like Melissa McCarthy, Christian Bale, what's Pat May's actor's name? Jane Foster.
I can't remember.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, I think so.
Natalie Portman. She
Yeah,
demands a
that
big
was it, yeah.
paycheck.
Yeah.
She demands a big paycheck. Russell Crowe demands a big paycheck. That's probably at least, it's like conservatively, that's about 25 mil per person, I would say. Does that sound accurate? Maybe even 50 mil per person. So that's a big chunk out of it. But let's kind of look at Kenobi. I think that Kenobi, I don't know how much Kenobi cost. I would have to check. But
actually, you should check out Andor. That is a looker.
Ooh, yeah. What was Andor? Andor's budget per
15 to
episode.
25 million per episode.
Okay, so it's about twice the budget, but it still looks way better.
And the writing is like magnitudes better.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Kenobi was only 90 million production budget total.
It had how many? 6 episodes.
Yep. Man. Let's keep going.
Epic sad.
Well, he will be missed. Saying he was the comedic relief does not do him justice. Hamid is loyal. Say what you will about his hair and lack of ears.
Oh my god.
Did you just say Matt was the comedic relief in this show?
Let me scroll backward.
This is horrifying. You're watching Troglodytes, right? Oh my god.
Look, she's puckering up for you to kiss her, White.
Season, especially in episode 4. Barney Harris
No.
says, well, he will be
Stop
missed.
it.
Saying he was the comedic relief does not do him justice. Hamid is loyal. Say what you will about his hair and lack of ears. I want
He
to
is
see
just
Aaron
jerking the show off at this point.
So, That is correct. She called Matt, or at least the actor for Matt, the comedic relief for this show. What laughter is in this show, woman?
Yeah, it's not funny.
There was not a single joke as far as I can remember.
Paramore, but I have faith that he'll get his chance to shine in season 2. And
actually, wait, pause.
In that scene in episode 1. Other than
did he actually make a joke in the show? I actually do not remember them even attempting humor.
I think there's maybe one or two. They're very much blink and you miss it.
Because keep going.
I think that the only thing was a joke about that Randa was, the sooner we get there, the sooner it can get at your feet up. Oh, you're funny now. That's a new wrinkle. That's the main joke I remember.
That is pathetic. And I bring this up because they're trying to go for the whole dreary, depressing, shitty atmosphere. While in the book, they actually have like running jokes and gags, like the whole this Rand, Perion, and Matt thinking the other knows how to deal with women. Always. That's actually funny and a little bit of They have jokes in the first book. It's not constant, it's not comedy, but they have humor. And I just remembered, they have absolutely none of that, not even attempts. They didn't even try. So what comedic relief?
I did find one bit of comedy where Aram thinks the song is BS because he's technically right.
Okay, look.
Oh yeah, that bit. Oh.
Yeah. They have This show is a comedy, but unintentionally. I'm saying they did not even try.
Yeah.
The fact that I think that the books follow the source material very faithfully as far as the big, broad brushstrokes.
Yes, the books follow.
No, they did not.
They fucking make it.
No, they did not.
No. What she technically said.
No.
She actually said the only smart thing she will ever say. The books indeed followed the source material because they are the fucking source material. It's an accident, but the only way she's going correctly is if she's a broken clock. Is just by happenstance. Right.
I find the very idea absurd.
Oh, you actually that clip make it work.
Well, shout out to Sarah Nakamura. The Two Rivers Women's Circle.
No, Sarah Nakamura is responsible for a lot of this crap. I blame her.
Nakamura makes me think of Percy Jackson every time I hear the name.
Well, it's the same name. Yeah,
I know.
Well, it's just Sarah. She's supposed to be the book consultant that apparently has the authority to make it so that they use wolves instead of bears.
Book consultant. My.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. They had a consultant?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just like, no.
What street hag did they pick up randomly for this role and said, we'll pay you $50 to just keep nodding?
Well, supposedly there are actually like funny anecdotes of her glaring down the writers and saying no to certain changes. Like, Perion doesn't speak. Like, they were saying, maybe we could change Perion to speaking to bears rather than wolves. But honestly, I would prefer that. I would prefer changing that to what else they changed.
Why did that even occur to them?
Because they felt like it was too close to Game of Thrones, because these people clearly have not read other fantasy books, and how, because wolves are pretty much alpha pack animals in Europe, they're pretty much they're pretty much universal across fantasy novels as either symbols or guardians or stuff like that.
Wolves are fucking everywhere, you dumbasses. What are you trying to do?
But I would say they didn't read the book. They saw the show. I would say that.
Because I don't think they can even read for their entire existence, probably.
Oh, there are unfortunately people that think that this is better. They
there are
even have
retarded people.
Yeah, there's even a whole thing on one of the servers where they have a fix it Rafe emoji where they say like, "Hey, fix this," and it's just, oh gosh, what is wrong with you people?
Everything's wrong with these people.
And even like little things like they're saying like, "Fix this. This is sexist," or "Fix this." And it's like, oh.
Wreck-It Rafe actually makes more sense as the nickname. Wreck-It Rafe.
Yeah.
Initiation was
Or Rape It
for
Rafe.
book readers an allegory for channeling the one power. Sharp
No.
non-book readers might have picked that up if they paid attention to Moraine's lesson with Egwene in episode 2. It makes a lot of sense that Egwene picked channeling up so quickly because she's had practice. And it makes you wonder if this
Or she's a Mary
was
Sue.
some kind of ancient
In the show, I mean,
tradition
I'm not sure
that was related
I'm not
to the
gonna say
ability
about the
to
books.
channel.
No, ancient.
I missed like half what she said.
Yeah.
Like some other worldly
ancient
language.
Manetheren tradition so quickly because she's had practice. And it makes you wonder if this was some kind of ancient Manetheren tradition that was related to the ability to channel. Rand's existential battle in episode 8 is once again, I'll reiterate, a perfect sign of things to come for him. Rand's fight against the Dark One isn't just swords or one power. It's philosophical. We get a lot of cool fights throughout the series.
Such
I'm
low
Yosef will have
standards.
his chance to
I love how White is just destroyed this person.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. You know, there was just nothing going on in that entire episode, and it's just this such great this great thing that just happened, and I'm like, what the fuck? Your standards are just terrible.
shine in the battle department. Testing Rand in this way up front sets a great tone, and it sets us
Tone.
up for a callback
Ow.
later on when we get a similar confrontation, though it may be a while. And the relationship between these two, Soiree,
Similar
is
confrontation.
straight
What are you
out of
referring
New
to?
Spring. A bond
Are you referring to the test they ripped off, not supposed to go to Egwene?
Yeah, I guess so.
Which, by the way, should technically happen next season
Warren
if they
is
follow the
straight
books.
out of New Spring. A bond like that doesn't just go away unless the demands of the time force it to. And because Amazon doesn't have the same constraint that Robert Jordan was working with back in the day when he was writing these, I think this is the right route to go. Let's wrap this up by talking about the characters, shall we?
Okay.
There's characters in the show.
Here's another major problem with this line of thinking. Robert Jordan has same-sex characters in his books. Well, same-sex attraction characters in his books. This is just definitive. There are a lot of lesbians in his books that just like girls. Moraine and Swan are not one of them.
Yeah. Look, done. The shippers have taken over the industry.
Yeah,
There is no
shippers
hope.
are can't. Yeah,
Rail,
shippers.
it is the sequel to Raylos. They have taken over.
Oh, sure.
Look,
The Raylos have taken over.
Look, Dalinar and Kaladin and Sazit in the Stormlight adaptation are gonna be a love triangle. All right.
Oh God!
Oh boy!
I might actually kill something live on camera. I will find a snake or a rat or something and just kill it brutally on screen, on camera. If I hear about that, I might actually kill some small pest on camera if I were to do that. If they were to do that, I would
Wow,
be like, I would be so
such a
angry.
reasonable person.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be terrible. Yeah.
Her character,
Oh,
Egwene,
boy.
she is smart, driven to learn, a fast learner, capable, and just super great. They aged her
Give
up
me
in that
reasons,
time.
please. Just stop. Put the fucking.
I would agree that is Egwene in the book. That's not Egwene in the show.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Tiring.
Would you say that that's a good description of the character codex aspiring in the show?
No.
Tiring.
No, absolutely freaking not.
I would say this is a major problem, I think, with show watchers, is that they transpose their knowledge of the books onto the show and attribute characteristics to these characters that they do not have. Like Egwene, like Madeline Madden, she's probably perfectly serviceable. She's not given good material in this at all. No hate toward her. I think that she was miscast. Yeah. I think that this was just a terrible idea from Jump Street. Everything involving her character is really stupid and leaves her no room to go anywhere in the future, which is really frustrating because I like Egwene's ending and her development, even though it's basically just a symbol of hypocrisy in a lot of ways, but and reveals a lot of her faults as a person. But let's keep going.
Because we don't want this looking like a YA CW show. Plus,
wow,
that's what it was.
You know, the funny thing is, I think CW show romance have characters better than this.
No. Yeah, kind of. The funny thing is, Arrow season 1 has better writing than this.
No. Batwoman, CW.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Oh, I don't. I think that's a stretch.
Well, you have to see.
Stretch,
but yeah, you still have to have some character development.
Yeah, I would. So
I don't think in the show she has character developments.
I don't think that anybody has character development in Batwoman.
Okay, here's the thing.
I don't deny
Batwoman
that,
is basically Batwoman is basically progressive propaganda the show in the most bluntest way possible. Codex, I am sorry, but Batwoman is not better.
Yeah,
I would rather watch Batwoman. It is not better.
Yeah. Well, at least we have a bit of a laugh, but
Ruby Rose's acting alone makes Batwoman worse. Same with the actress playing Alice. And the CGI is way worse. Like, I think that this is more offensive because it's actually based on good material rather than crap material that's original.
And also has a budget.
Yeah, and just Batwoman's the second worst thing. Like, modern TV show ever. The worst is probably, I guess, modern TV show. I guess since I think that you could say that Tarzan is worse on every technical aspect. Legend of the Sea, I think Flash is pretty bad, but isn't as annoying. Arrow gets really bad. Ooh, Legend of the... I quit with Legends of Tomorrow after I think like 10 episodes, I think. But Batwoman's the worst.
I don't deny that.
Yeah.
Even to learn, a fast learner, capable, and just super, super great. They aged her up, but that's fine because we don't want this looking like a YA CW show. Plus, I kind of love that she's the embodiment of...
Did they make that argument for Game of Thrones?
Sorry, what again? Rewind that a bit.
So they aged her up so it wouldn't look like a CW show. They didn't make that argument with Game of Thrones. They aged up maybe a couple years, but they kept a lot of the characters the same age, like decently close to the same age, mostly for reasons relating to sexual portrayal laws.
Yeah.
Look, I'll say this. You don't really need to age up the characters that much. You can get people who look very young for their age, because Even in Game of Thrones, there was one character, it was the one who was saving Bran. Me and my friends got into a whole tism about what age she was. And they were...
It's hilarious. That guy is like what, mid-30s or something, or at least like late 20s.
I don't remember. I just remember there's a lot of characters who do not look their age, both up and down. It's not hard to find it.
Yeah, he's 5 years. He's actually 5 years older than me.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 32 right now. I think he was mid-20s when he was doing JoJo, and he was playing a 12-year-old. 12, 13, maybe 14.
20, and he was playing a 12-year-old? Are you serious?
I think so. Since Game of Thrones, since he's born in 1990, Game of Thrones Season 3 was released 2014. So he was 24, I believe. 23, 24, maybe 25. Game of Thrones Season 3 release. 2013. So he was he's actually 28, I think. Maybe.
Oh,
no, 23. He was 23 when he was 22, 23 playing a 12-year-old.
Yeah, like I said, you can easily get actors and actresses that look very young for their age.
Yeah.
And these are, and in the books, they're like 16 at youngest, all the characters. So you don't need to go that far. Plus, you have the miracles of makeup.
Yeah, let's keep going. I put it on 1.5 speed.
That being a bad thing if you want to follow your dreams. At first, it seems like her dream is to become a wisdom because she loves learning. But then, once the world expands,
that's just she wants to be a wisdom, and there's no further discussion into it. That's her wanting to learn is you transposing her characteristics from the book onto her show counterpart, which are not portrayed well.
And in front of her eyes, she realizes that there's so much more out there and she could do so much more.
No.
And she wants to do it. Rand, on the other hand, was always a homebody. He is sweet, pure of heart, but also that Two Rivers stubborn that you get in all of them sometimes.
No.
Especially Nynaeve. He's always conflicted. He's got a fair amount of angst, and he's just good with the ladies. What can we say? He's shown signs of being strong and capable and withstanding some pretty intense tests.
What tests?
I'm guessing the rest of this video is just going to be her making statements, and it's just going to go nowhere.
Rand's good with the ladies. I wonder if she says that because of the pegging scene.
Or the fact that Dana tries to smooch him.
Like in the books, he's definitely good with the ladies. He picks up 3 of them, 2 of them incredibly infuriating at multiple points.
Perrin so far is pretty much groovy, but that's okay. He's got time. Everything that Marcus Rutherford was given to do, I think he did really well. So I can't wait to see him in season 2.
What did he have?
Getting more wolfy as time goes on. I love Barney Harris's Matt. I can't wait to see Donald Finn's Matt. Matt for me was the comedic relief. He was a little bit dark. I think he'll come back to the light pretty quickly because he's pure.
What comedic relief? There is literally no comedy in the show. How is he a comedic relief in any way?
I beg your pardon?
I don't understand. He is actively an asshole. He is an asshole character. That is his character. So how the fuck is he comedic?
Yeah, that's a good point. With a season release every 2 years, since this was 2021, last I checked.
Was it 2020?
Let me check. I think it might have been, yeah.
We brought that up, and that's not a joke they intended to be funny.
Yep, it's 2021. Well, okay. So 2021. So and season 2 is coming out this year. So it's 2 years. So it's 2 years, and they're planning on doing like 8-9 seasons out of the 14 books, which Granted, you can shave down a lot of crap from the later books, but that's still a lot of material to get through. And apparently they're sandwiching 3, 2, and 3 into the same season.
Because that's a great idea, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it works for Black Cauldron, Disney's biggest bomb of all time.
Yes.
Then, so yeah, they're going to be in their 40s. Yeah, that's going to be, if this show is not canceled, it's going to be about 2037 at this rate. It just seems like they just don't give a crap. Like it just seems I'm getting put out to die. I'm getting put out to die vibes from this show. Like, yeah, season 3 has been renewed, but and they're filming season 3 already. But I don't think that this is getting the viewership numbers to justify that, because nobody seems to like this show other than the really hardcore ideologues.
To be fair, Dunn, we have said this for other shows with very poor viewership that managed to last much longer than we thought it would. Batwoman being one of them.
Well, Batwoman only got 3 seasons, I think, and then it was summarily canceled.
That was still longer than we thought it would.
Well, it's true. The CW. What do you expect? They thrive on making bad content. Though thankfully, Victor Zaslav clearly is based, because he's just like, nope, we're going to say screw you to both the Snyder fans and the woke ideologues, and just canceling crap like Batwoman, even though it's mostly in the can. Because he's like, you serious? This is going to make money? Are you nuts? Yeah.
Let's face it, once Ruby Rose left, it was dead.
And he showed that with his relationship with his sisters.
Yeah, it wasn't as funny.
Okay, she's just a badass. She always has been. She always will be. She's stubborn.
No, she was not.
Yeah, she's just crazy.
So basically, a cunt then.
Definition of funny.
No character is funny. There is not funny in this show. Not intentional funny. There's plenty of unintentional funny, but no actual funny.
Yes.
Yeah, the only funny line I can think of was, now that you've blown smoke up our ass, what do you want? Like, that's funny. Or, you must have low standards then. That's But honestly, Zoe Rose probably gave a better performance in Power Rangers than she did in this.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well so far. She also cares so
I love how there's a long pause after I say that.
I haven't seen Power Rangers, but I'm more than willing to believe it.
I've only seen the video, a video summary of it, because I don't have the time to watch the whole thing. I'm not going to watch the whole thing of a Power Rangers season. I would rather watch a 2-hour, 1 to 2 hour episode of video review that goes over pretty much everything in detail. It's much preferable.
Much about her.
I've seen multiple seasons of Power Rangers in their entirety. At this point, I'm just going to watch a summary at this point, because they're all the same.
People, she will literally risk anything in order to protect them. That is quintessential Nynaeve in the books and now in the show. Rosamund Pike's Moraine.
No.
Yes.
No, she does not.
She got cast because I'd only ever seen her blonde, and I
She doesn't give a shit about them.
Then when I
Nynaeve does not give a shit about them boys, really. Not at all in the show. It's one of her main traits. Throughout multiple books, she is very concerned about the boys, even when she starts having to deal with other shit. But they don't even have that be your starting point.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her, and I saw what she did with Weep for Manetheren and tons of other scenes, I realized this is Moraine now. By golly, now when I read the books, that's who I'm going to picture as Moraine, without fail. She was capable, incredibly driven, relatively closed off, but because we got her as a POV character, we got to see more of her personality like we did in New Spring, and it was delicious. I loved it. She is an amazing lead for the show, and I'm so happy they kind of slightly shifted focus to give us
the fact that she says that just makes me think of Brian Cogman. You remember that guy, White?
Shut up.
So he even had this line where where he describes scripting a reaction shot with the actor playing Peter Baelish, Aidan Gillen, where he said, like, watching him internalize the script is just delicious to watch. It's just like, you don't want to quote Brian Cogman. Brian Cogman's a moron. Brian Cogman's a massive idiot. And I'm glad he got fired from Rings of Power. I wish they had fired everybody else, but you can't have everything.
Early on, because I think she is the perfect focal point. And Daniel Henney as Lan is an absolute delight. He's got this
Ezra
that I can't get enough of, honestly.
He's not
physically very capable. And he's got that wisdom to him that I can't wait to see come out even more, hopefully, if he gets a chance to mentor somebody.
What wisdom?
Pinching his own nipples does not make him feisty. All right.
Lan is not feisty in any way, shape, or form.
Not in the show, and definitely not in the books.
Yes.
He's stoic. He is stoicism personified.
Like, there's one time where he busts out laughing in book 2, and it's because because it is so ridiculous that he just can't help but laugh. And it looks odd, like a rock laughing is the description.
When was this?
After Rand runs through the women's apartments with a sword.
I don't remember this. Now I want to go back and
in
see.
episode 5 and 4, especially, and so we're getting some of that. Not to mention, whenever he needs to be emotional, like in episode 5, he absolutely
he doesn't get emotional, you dumbass. You've already misunderstood. He does not get emotional. Is one of the problems with him one time was his lack of emotionalness, and they needed to get emotion back into the man, which they used Nynaeve for. Because he basically felt dead inside.
I think Alana is very lovable at this point and fun to watch, and I can't wait to see what they have her do going forward. And Leandra in the same way, except she's not lovable. She's detestable, but it's delicious. She is so absurdly unlikable.
No!
Really disappears.
I just don't care about her, dumbass. Look at this woman and tell me, what the fuck is her personality? The red one. Codex, tell me, who the fuck is Leandrin?
A plank of wood.
Thank you. That is all she is in this. There is nothing detestable besides her just being as much of an idiot as the rest of the characters. She doesn't really stand out in that regard. And also being a little bit bloodthirsty, which also matches with some of the characters. And
no,
I don't even
go for it.
What?
No, I was just agreeing. Go for it.
The green one. She's remember
horny.
her?
That's the only thing I can describe. She's just the one that has the DPs. She gets DP'd every night.
Good job. Look.
Into this character.
Just keep going.
I can't get enough of Leandrin, even though I hate her.
Yeah.
I love to hate her. I've already said this before, but Swan is just glorious. She is majesty. She could not be better cast either. I absolutely adore her. She's also feisty behind closed doors, but man, can she put that.
They contradict this in the show. Oh my god.
She is not royalty, you dumbass. She's the exact opposite. You actual goddamn brain tumor lady.
And plus, not to mention the fact, Egwene goes. Sorry, Egwene literally goes on a tirade to Nynaeve and all that, and just has saying, "Oh, how the White Tower basically forbids people who are from poor economy families and all that." But she is from a poor family, the head of the Aes Sedai.
Yes,
makes no fucking sense.
Ridiculous.
Literally, not royalty. Dumbass.
No, sorry, I misspoke. It was Nynaeve. Sorry, my apologies. But still,
there's also the issue of just characterization-wise. Swan Sanche
is feisty.
She is. Also, Swan Sanche in the books is intelligent. This woman is not written to be intelligent at all.
Look, they can't write intelligence for any character. We just cannot hold them to that bar right now. We need to go a bit lower to really get through the stupidity here.
Yeah, you can only write characters as smart as you are, and if a character is smart and the smartest character in the work is a very good indicator of at least something that's trying to be intelligent, like this is a good indicator of your own intelligence. And I would say that this is the best contrived BS that they could come up with, which is kind of sad.
Look, to explain to the mentally deficient why you shouldn't eat shit, you cannot tell them that it tastes bad. You have to use the colors to try and explain it to them, because that's the most they're going to understand. You cannot go deeper than that.
I know this turned into a why book readers should have liked the show, but I hope it was also just instructive and informative and helpful for anyone who might be wondering, how does this?
No, you weren't.
I found it to be highly entertaining. I love book 1 of The Wheel of Time.
No, you explain nothing.
Yeah, you come off as a shill, yeah.
Faced with COVID restraints. Episodes 7 and 8 were filmed after Barney Harris left, one of their main characters, and they were facing COVID constraints during the filming of those episodes.
So did other shows.
Top Gun Maverick exists, and that was shot kind of towards the tail end of COVID. It still looks better.
Yes. Granted, it was practical, most of it.
Still look better.
They couldn't have that many people on set, so they relied more on CGI. But there's a manpower issue with that and a timing issue.
I can't change the laws of physics.
These things just kind of cascaded. And
yes, you have enough money to get better effects.
You also have enough. You have enough money to just pay the people working at home. I imagine that the people you have to pay them less because they're working. You can pay them less now that they're working at home because you don't have to worry about putting them in a building.
Yeah.
CGI is not something to comment on being fucked up by COVID.
Yeah.
As long as you have time and money, you get good effects. You had both time and money, and you just used it poorly.
And competency.
In the grand scheme.
And competency, let's put it that way.
I think, given all of the constraints they were faced with, they came out on the other side with an awesome season of television. Infinitely rewatchable. I can't even count how many times I've watched it because it's silly.
It was not television.
No, she just admitted she was chill.
The only times I've watched this are to torture myself or others.
You technically are one of the people then who can make the claim, I have watched this show multiple times.
And I still hate it. I actually hate it even more with every subsequent watch. I have done my due diligence. I've paid my dues. I've watched this show 5 times at this point, and I'm just like, this show sucks.
I've only watched it half as many times.
Once was enough for me.
It gets worse every time you watch it. It's like an unending mine of crap.
It's a large amount, and I can't wait until season 2. As a book reader, I'm extremely pleased. They clearly care about the source material, and I think they're
I highly doubt you're a fan of the books, my dear. I highly doubt it.
I have one thing.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
Yeah.
No, that is not correct.
Yes, Shad. Yes, you're right, Shad. It's not correct.
Painful, very painful. Any others?
nailing the main points while condensing, which is going to be necessary.
They didn't condense, they ripped chunks out and created their own original.
Yes! Oh.
And it's going to be even worse in season 2 because they've seriously thrown off the trajectory for no real reason.
Plus a prequel into a reasonably sized series as a whole. This doesn't necessarily relate to any of the things I've talked about, other than the fact that the show is clearly being very faithful to the source material. And I have to give a shout out to the cold open of episode 7 because, oh my gosh, it was a high.
God, you are chill.
You use the scene that does not exist in the books to show why it's faithful to the books.
I think this might be a parody.
Mongoloid single-celled amoeba.
This has to be a fucking parody or something.
No, this person is not remarkable Republican.
How?
Right.
Because like you said, if that scene wasn't in the books, and she says that this show is great in the book, like very faithful to the books, how do you do that?
I think this proves my point on her being more stupid than Noble or Replica, because I don't even think their warped brain nerves can bring the logic of this scene not in this source means it's faithful to the source.
I actually could see Replica do something like that.
I don't think that Replica would like this because he would see identity politics in this.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about the argumentation, not the show.
True. Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Replica is not good at arguing, to say the least.
He would bend over backwards for George. He would certainly make this type of argument for the prequels.
He's not bending over backwards, dude. He's bending forwards and shoving his pants down to his ankles so hard they create a crater in the earth.
No, I thought you were just gonna say he shoved his head up his ass, but okay.
He bends so far he goes back in time.
Why are we bending measuring right now?
Yeah, that's a
we are
question.
benders.
My favorite scene.
I know you all like to suck your own dicks, but calm down.
I don't have one, so you can't come up with that with me.
You used to have one.
Being very faithful to the source material, but I have to give a shout out to the cold open of episode.
Everybody likes this. Everybody who's a moron likes this scene. I don't get why.
Because pregnant lady fighting.
Can I ask this question? Can I ask this question? Why does a pregnant woman seem empowering to these mongrels? How?
Look,
of George Lucas raping George Lucas accepting Replica's sexual favors.
Look, Raptor, we never need any of the images we get in our heads.
Oh my gosh, it was the highlight of the entire season. My favorite scene, episode 7, was my favorite episode, and this scene was shot so well that I still can't get over.
It's a fucking parody, Jesus Christ.
And the Aiel, or at least a live Aiel, and oh baby, can I not wait until we see more of them in future seasons. So what I'm saying is, what the Wheel of Time could have done right, it did right. It was faced with some major
it's almost over.
No, it didn't. No.
You showed the physics-breaking, lore inaccurate, goddamn impossible scene that should never have existed.
I wasn't even thinking more inaccurate. I'm just thinking humanity inaccurate.
I said physics breaking.
Well, because you're also a bigot, racist, and homophobe along with us.
I don't know. I am big homophobe.
Gave us a story that was exciting almost throughout.
I'm doing it because you forced me to do it.
But I didn't even mention the soundtrack, but OMG.
I get paid.
Acting was great. The pacing was
what
great.
soundtrack?
I love the characters and
it's the Gig Low situation all over
and I hope
again.
That anyone who hasn't yet watched the show watches
it. I am tired of this already. My brain hurts.
Thankfully, we're almost finished.
In my opinion, I never got bored. I love the characters and I recognize them from what I read on the page. And I hope that anyone who hasn't yet watched the show watches it, either because they want something to watch after Rings of Power ended, or whatever other reason brings them into it.
Oh my god!
Like that show.
God.
No. Well, here's the funny thing: only a third of the people who watched Rings of Power finished it. That's not a good percentage. That's a bad percentage.
Standards. Oh my god.
Why does every time you pause her, there's like an 80% chance she's puckering up?
Because she wants to suck White off.
Stop.
So basically, White's in a love triangle with her and Maggie May. All right.
God, I'm just in all of the triangles of the terrible take people.
You're in a hexagon.
Or maybe, I know. Maybe we should make Kritter XD Aspiring's waifu.
There we go.
Done. That cactus is about to be turned into something far, far, far more painful.
Do Maggie and Kritter just refer everyone as...
Oh.
This is... We have gone too far. We have gone too far into the Twilight Zone.
Who was it? Raptor was the one who said I didn't need that image in my head. Raptor, I agree with you again. Now you're not lonely. You think
turned into DB White.
Raptor, you think the potential scenario of being with the two crackheads will make me less lonely? Motherfucker, I will gladly go into an isolation cell.
Korean gay.
Please send me to prison, put me in an isolation cell for the rest of my life. What the fuck? Dear God, what did you send?
Hell.
I'm not looking yet. Give me a moment.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you... Why did you have to use good art?
What is this?
Why did you use good art?
I only have good art of that particular scenario.
I know, but damn it. Like, I guess I don't want bad art.
Which is the more effective?
Why did I even
agree? You are the more effective brain. Look. Either I am just immune, but I have just never had the brain worm that is Wheels of Prime ever stay in my brain. It is, look, it gets deleted within the week.
Whereas my crap, like my name, is just in your head.
Nerd Dominus. In that moment, Optimus became a psycho.
Try to watch the Wheel of Time. If there's any way you might enjoy a fantasy series, especially if you haven't found a fantasy series that you liked because you didn't find anyone that you could relate to in it. Because the Wheel of Time...
Oh gosh, I hate that argument. Why do you always bring up that argument? Why is this?
Because this is a genuine problem with people. Some people cannot read or watch shit without having a someone they can relate to directly, because for some reason they are incapable of relating to the experiences of people with different fucking genitals or different fucking sexuality. It's goddamn retarded.
Yeah, that says more about them than anything else, I would say.
Yeah, it says a lot about.
Yeah,
it's basically it's widespread narcissism, as Wisp would put it, and I don't disagree with her on that point. I'm just like, yeah, that's true.
It is a genuine kind of little bit of narcissism that they just seem incapable of it, and they don't realize that, and it's just like you just cannot relate to an experience outside of that.
What did I do?
Of Time has relatable characters, some of the best characters I've ever read in spades. I hope this helps. I like being positive. I like to like things. I don't like to hate things, and I don't think it's productive. So I hope in the sea of negative videos that you run into on YouTube, you find this one and find it to be refreshingly positive. Agni says thanks for watching. And
I was looking at the mental breakdown.
I love you. All of you are in the description of this
toxic
video.
positivity, was what I would call it.
Positivity does not mean better, and someone please save that cat.
Yes.
I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Look here real quick.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
You are a pathetic junkie. Too stupid to understand and follow simple rudimentary instructions.
Yeah.
Question. Would it be better if we found out that everyone who worked on the show and defends the show is on copious amounts of drugs? Would that be better?
Yes, because it would mean that they're not accountable. Ultimately, like, if she was trying to defend this show, my only response is
not impressed.
Hey Don, I got one for you.
What is it?
I'll send it to you in DMs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't stand this whole attitude of just toxic positivity.
Yes.
This whole thing is ridiculous.
For you.
I just can't stand this whole thing where it's just, we must be positive. It's the same reason why Last Jedi got some measure of positive traction with idiots like Just Right and School of Movies, Patrick frickin' Williams, Major Lee. Though, admittedly, Major Lee is kind of the chode of all of them, where he doesn't even pretend to be intellectual. He's just a moron.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah. Admittedly, I try to be balanced. I'm trying to be balanced, but it's just so much of the crap that's coming out these days is terrible. It's so frustrating. Yeah. I can't believe that there's so much bad.
Oh my god, it looks so terrible.
What does?
Oh my god.
But
oh my god.
Show.
Here, I'll just send it to you. This right here.
Ooh. 12 Angry Men is on Tubi. Great.
All I need is someone to watch a World War II movie and say, we need to be more positive about the Nazis. I need this natural conclusion to be reached.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, White had some treats to show us.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What now?
I'm surprised that wasn't Biden. Oh. Nope, we might still get Biden.
Mitt, sie mit denen in Hollywood, ja? Hast du da noch nichts gedacht?
Sorry, how do you push him? Yeah.
Oh, look, it's John Wick. It's John Wick.
What a chat. Did you ever come on that?
Ja, dat lekker. Dating thing you doing.
Unironically, something that happens in John Wick 4.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the less we talk about the movie like that, just the better.
Just
Alrighty.
that's what happened.
Well,
oh god, the ending of John Wick 3. Jesus Christ. I just lost it at the ending.
That is so funny. I just saw the clip of that on Metal Commando's review, and I just busted up laughing because that is freaking hilarious.
Which one?
Literally breaks his spine in half when he falls.
When he just falls and it just crashes into things like it's in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
This is why I don't particularly like the movies. He just doesn't. Oh my god.
All right.
I would say anything else besides the first one is just garbo.
Thank you. Fucking thank you.
Alrighty. Any final thoughts before we conclude and watch 12 Angry Men?
This video is a fucking travesty.
I honestly question.
It's
I won't watch it because I don't care to. But I do wonder what the video she is responding to actually says and how much she doesn't respond to it because she hasn't seen
doesn't. Oh, that video is actually great. The video is an hour-long deconstruction of why Wheel of Time from just a show perspective is bad. And it's really satisfying to watch.
I hope there's lots of people in our comments who have seen that video. That would please me greatly.
They hate that guy. They hate him. They really don't like him because he dared to put a shank in their sacred cow and cooked it up. All right.
Have to be sacred sheep now.
No, it's still a sacred cow because mutton tastes better than cow. All right, let's call it good for today.